Yo, and hello everybody. My name is Uri, and today we are going to play Tiny Bunny. Yeah, it's a new episode, it's a new day, it's a new evening of me playing Tiny Bunny. But this time, I will be very dark. I will not laugh one time at this video. And if I do, well, bad things will happen to me. Let's sit down in Semyon's place. After a moment of hesitation, I sat down at Baburin's desk, the place where I was supposed to be assigned by Lila Pavlovna at first. Alright guys, now I am back officially. Uri, but you already know what it is. We are playing Tiny Bunny. I was starting a bit like, you know what I mean. Not that Uri, not that exciting Uri. But he's back, don't worry, he's back. Oh, he's back! Guess who's back? Back again! It's me. Okay. The chatter resumed as if someone just unpaused the movie.
Бабушка Бабурина такой кипиш устроила, когда он домой не явился.
Katya said, Baburin grandma made such a fuss when he didn't return home.
Сначала в школу прибежала, потом ментов вызвала.
First she went to the school, and then she called the cops.
Да-да-да.
Yes. Katya snuck a cunning glance at me, then leaned in to her neighbor and whispered something. I don't know what it is. Girls from the second row also leaned in. She shared something with them, too. Whispers, nods. I kept catching her stare on myself and neighbor's stare too. The whole class was watching me. Look, it's not all about you, okay? It's not. It's really not. How you call Anton? It was like they felt the need to watch me because they were searching for traces of blood on my fingers. I wanted to defend myself and shout, guys, listen, I'm innocent! But they all looked at me. And here is Semyon's gangs. This is a lovely, lovely, lovely bad haircut. Okay? When you want to not put someone down, tell them it's a lovely bad haircut. Okay? The delinquents turned around and stared at me in silence. Their looks were dripping with malice. But why? What did I do to them? Their friend went missing and they're still focused on me. Well, because they think you did something, you dummy. They think you were a killer. Suddenly I noticed Biasha drilling a hole in my nose with his eyes. He's looking sad. It looked like he was about to point his finger at me and shout at the top of his lungs. Everyone look! Snatched his glasses yesterday and now he has them back. Murder! Fuck. I may be going mad, but I think Biasha knows something. He knows something, but he won't tell me what. Roma gave me a meaningful glance, as it reminded me of his promise. My aching temple reminded me of it. I need to stay away from Paulina. As if looking for protection, I clutched the ruler until my hand hurt.
Не надо быть Коломбо, чтобы догадаться.
You don't have to be Columbus to solve it.
Кто на Бабурина зуб имел?
Well, the grudge against Baburin.
Кто его вчера ударил? Поиздевался, а после...
We hit him yesterday, bullied him, and then... The metal ruler fell out of my weak fingers. It hit the floor with a jingle, and that made the other kids shudder. Katya bit her tongue and squirmed nervously. Chairs scraped against the floor. My classmates moved away. Sorry about that! For me, closer to the exit toward the teacher's desk. I was not the only one to catch wind of that shame. Womka and Biasha looked around and winced in contempt. Too bad that they weren't afraid of me like everybody else.
Да прикуси ты!
Biasha, shut it!
Бабурин, небось, бабкой посрался и дымил-на.
I bet ya Baburin just got a whipping from his old hag and ran off.
Скоро найдется.
They'll find him soon.
Найдется, ага.
They'll find him alright.
Во овраге, со вспоротым брюхом.
In a ravine with his stomach cut open. I gulped like this. Oh my god. I imagined Suma on a snowy blanket. His face white like a fish belly, split down the middle by the surface of his mouth, snowflakes falling on his glassy eyes and filling up his throat. See, I could almost see the concerning tone. It's all your fault. But why was Semyon the only one get his desert just from bullying me? Weren't all of them supposed to be disappear? Rom, Kabiasha, Katya, along with every laughing onlooker? Of course, Semyon did me a favor by disappearing. Thanks to him, my classmates now stared at me in awe. But that was only one side of the coin. What if I'll have to repay that favor soon? Now, the door creaked. Paulina entered the classroom. Very important person. She is my girlfriend indeed. I straightened up in a hurry so she wouldn't see me looking like a scared quitter. Paulina found me with her eyes, gave me a short nod and went to her seat. You know when they give you the nod, it's not good. You want to get hey or hi or they put in a high five, but no, a nod is bad. A nod is really bad. It's like you're not that close, and this is bad. Kathy rushed to her neighbors again, like a lab rat that saw a tweet, and started whispering, switching her gaze between me and Paulina. Messages on pieces of paper started jumping around the classroom, and the bell rang.
Так, заканчиваем бардак. Дети, встаньте.
Alright, stop messing around. Class stand up.
Петров, тебя это тоже
You
касается.
too, Petrov. Lila Pavlovna went to her desk, followed by a policeman in uniform. It was a man that visited us just recently. Tall and his stairs so sharp you could get caught on it.
Здрасте.
Hello, Duckets.
Здравствуйте!
Hey!
Садитесь.
You can sit down, kids.
Познакомьтесь. Это старший лейтенант Константин Владимирович Тихонов.
This is Senior Lieutenant Konstantin Vladimirovich Tikhonov.
Он задаст вам несколько вопросов и проведет небольшую лекцию по безопасности.
He's going to ask you a couple of questions and give you a small busy.
Лучше лекция от милиционера, чем уроки.
The class livened up. Talking to a policeman was way better than studying. I, on the other hand, was ready to sit through hundreds of hours of Russian literature just to escape the lieutenant's oppressive stare. His brown eyes felt around the classroom looking for me. Hair stood on the back of my neck and an icicle had lodged in my gut.
А правда, что Бабурина маньяк убил?
Now, Katya, the annoying little kid that I want to kill, she says that. Is it true that Baburin got killed by a serial killer?
Екатерина, ну-ка цыц. Вопросы здесь взрослые задают.
Shush, Katerina. Let the adults ask the question around here, okay?
Просто нам всем страшно.
We're all scared.
Может,
And she
убийца
looks at
просто
me,
где-то
exactly at me. What is this? Maybe the killer is somewhere close. Maybe the overseer and a gun among us. Her sly stare was directed at me. Yeah, we can see that. Tikhonov stepped in between the rows of desks and started walking in at an excruciatingly slow pace, brushing his fingers against the chairs he passed by. Some of the students almost broke their necks following his movements. Like this. See that? That's how a crowd of commoners would gleefully anticipate a public execution in the Middle Ages. And he just walked getting closer to me. I gritted my teeth to stop myself from screaming. Calm down, breathe, I said to myself. You didn't kill or kidnap anyone. He already knew the answer to his question, but policemen still ask. in
Петров
certain
Антон?
voice. Antov Petrov?
Да.
Yes.
Встань, Петров.
Stand up! Stand up, Petrov! My muscles turned into stone. I got up and locked myself from the chair. I felt like I could hear all my joints quick in the process. I only wish that Paulina wouldn't turn around and see the grimace horror on my face. If only I could be somewhere far away in the forest, digging myself into a snow pile, rolling up into a ball there. The officer stared at me, as if he was about to lock a pair of handcuffs on my wrists. I wonder how cold those bracelets are to the touch. I imagine myself getting jailed and put into the juvenile detention center, where tens of Semyon used constantly harass me and kill me.
Я ничего не знаю. Я тут ни при чем.
I don't know anything, I have nothing to do with this, I
А
said.
тебя никто и не обвиняет.
Nobody is accusing you of everything.
Пока что.
For now. Only then I noticed the file that said case and number 131 in his hand. It had a grey cover made of rough curtain. It flopped onto the desk like a guillotine blade that slid down on someone's neck. With a measured motion, Tikhonov opened the file, still studying me with his gaze. I caught a glimpse of documents and photos. They show prints on the snow. They look like animal prints.
Ты с Семеном Бабуриным общался?
Have you talked to Semyon Papurin before?
Я знал его всего один день.
I only know him for a day.
Все знают. Петров его
Kat-
ненавидел.
Katya said, everyone knows Petrov hated him. I turned red. You ugly bitch! I wanted to sink my teeth into Katya's face and chew out her cheek. Instead, I replied with the calmest voice I could master.
Мы повздорили вчера.
We had a fight yesterday,
Но он первый начал.
but he started it.
Я его ударил.
So I hit him. Yeah, I hit him.
Сильно?
How hard did you hit him?
Да нет, так.
Not that hard, I mean. I waved my hair indecisively. Tikhonov looked at me, my fist, as if he was surprised that I managed to hit the big kid from the photo. Surprisingly, Lila Pavlovna came to my rescue.
Бабурин проблемный подросток. С шилом кое-где.
Baburin is trouble teen. It threw a plane in the air.
Сам ко всем лез.
Always picking fights with the other kids. He's a bully, okay. The officer replied with a meaningful nod and fished out a notebook out of the file. Algebra.
Это твое?
It's as yours. I averted my gaze. It was a marked notebook with my name on it. My classmates devoured me greatly with their eyes. It felt like even the wrists on the portrait squinted at me in suspicion.
Моё.
Yes. It
В
is
лесу
mine.
нашли.
We find it in the
Там же
forest.
тракторист, что снег убирал в последний раз, видел Бабурина.
In the area where the tractor driver was blowing snow, there I last saw Baburin. I started blinking. In some, Romka once sacked my old school bag. This notebook just probably got lost somewhere in the bushes. The lieutenant knew about the school ball, but was he aware of the fight in the forest clearing? I had witnesses that could testify that to Semyon I was walking in different directions. After that, I looked forward to the boy. It's awful. Romka, who sat behind Tikhonov, put a finger to his lips. And when the officer quickly turned around, he pretended to pick on his nose. I dissipated his signal. Boys like Romka would probably say something like, snitches get stitches, in a situation like this. I frantically fixed my glasses. Wait, Semyon took them away yesterday, but now they're...
Так что ты делал вчера в лесу, Антон?
So what are you doing in the forest yesterday, Anton?
Я в школу через лес хожу.
I'll go to school to the forest.
Могла выпасть легко.
It could have easily fallen out of my bag. Easily. Just like me producing this half-truth.
Будь осторожнее.
Be careful out there. Before I could realize whether it was genuine piece of advice or veiled threat, the teacher said,
Класс. А сейчас лейтенант расскажет о...
Frick! Okay. The officer now will tell you some rules you should follow.
Так маньяк все-таки есть.
So the killer does exist.
Пока мы ничего вам сказать не можем.
We can't make any of this public for now.
Но есть преступник или нет, вы должны четко помнить о собственной безопасности.
Whether the criminal really exists or not, you should be mindful of your safety.
Вас бережет милиция. Вас опекают родители и учителя. Но в первую очередь защищать себя должны вы сами.
The police, your parents, and your teachers all watch over you. But no one will guard you better than yourself.
Итак, кто там что хотел?
Alright, any questions? A stockade of arms rose from the desk. The kids shouted over each other, swarming the policeman with questions. In an attempt to calm down the chorus, he moved toward the blackboard. The gray file was left lying in front of me. I stared at it. My breathing was so ragged that it might have looked like someone who just ran a 100-meter sprint. Bits of sweat rolled down my back. I looked around the classroom. My classmates were catching the officer's every word. Only Womka was saying something to Bayasha. Lila Pavlona was staring into the window, fighting back yawns. Open or escape? Open! As soon as I touched the folder, Tikhonov lashed me with his eyes. That's what you get for being so... I need to see what is this. The officer just kept staring at me without saying a word, making me scream until I lost uncomfortable silence and classmates. Sorry. And then he suddenly continued his speech as if nothing had ever happened. Open! I changed. I climbed my teeth from surprise, pushed myself into the back of a chair, blinking in impairment. Or something. The officer silently gathered the documents and gave me a stern look.
Больно ты любопытный, Петров.
Yeah, I am curious. I want to solve this case and find Baburin. Well, aren't you curious, boy, Petrov?
И еще раз.
Let me say this again.
Если вы заметите в поселке кого-то подозрительного, неважно, возле школы или на лесной тропинке, сразу сообщайте в милицию.
Okay, I just can't ignore it. They had skip and they had to do something. You shouldn't skip in game. You should do all the things you could do. Why should I skip? Why would I want to miss some content if I can get the content? If you see anyone suspicious in the village, be it near the school or in the forest trail, contact the police immediately.
Телефон-то знаете?
You know our number, right? 02.
Спасибо, ребята.
Then for listening, boys and girls, I'm out. Peace.
Спасибо, Лилия Павловна.
Thank you, Lila Pavlona.
И это.
And
Одноклассник
don't
вашего
worry,
мы найдем.
we'll find your classmate. Yeah, right. It was what flashed through my mind. Dig through enough ditches and maybe we were able to piece it together. Like Legos. My thoughts then turned evil for some reason and I couldn't control them. I tried to switch to the lieutenant's speech about suspicious individuals. What if I saw the killer before? What if I was a hair's breadth away from them? Suspicious people, How suspicious was the fox girl that wandered in the darkness? A widow that always appeared out of nowhere and then dissolved into thin air with her riddles and rhymes. Could she really harm the Hawking Sammy? Yeah. She's kinda into you and taking care for you, looking out for you, but it's not really doing anything good for you. It's happened a lot in movies and stuff. Should I tell the officer about her? Yeah. Wait, what if I get more for speaking out? Okay, this is a problem. You shouldn't give a fuck about what I say. They are kids. You are kids. You're always judging. Let's not talk about this. What if they start whispering behind my back, or even worse, things that I'm saying? I don't care. Womka gave me a stern look over the shoulder. I doubt someone like him would approve of cooperating with the police. Cathy's breath dangled nervously behind the delicate seat in front of me. My hand was glued to the desk. I want to tell him something. Tikhonov was saying goodbye to Lila Pavlovna. He was about to leave. It'll be too late too soon. Please, Lo. Tell him! I unplugged my palm from the tabletop. I need to warn him, at the very least, for Olya's sake, to assure her safety in the house near the squeaky pines. I raised my hand heavy as a dumbbell.
Простите.
Excuse me. Almost 2 dozen heads turned my way. My teacher, the officer Polina, Katy shoved an elbow into her friend's side. Sleepy Basha stretched out his neck. Womka frowned incoherently.
Я слушаю.
I'm listening. It felt like I was being studied under a microscope.
Вчера утром по дороге в школу я видел незнакомого человека.
Yesterday, when I was walking to school in the morning, I saw an unfamiliar person. My classmate started whispering. Tigran found a deep wrinkle adorning the space between his eyebrows.
Да откуда ему знать, чужак это или кто-то из местных?
There's no way he'd be able to tell if it was an outsider or
Он же
local.
в поселке без году неделя.
He just moved to our village. The other kid smirked. Katy flashed an evil smile.
Спокойствие.
Calm down.
Антон, а сможешь детальнее описать?
Can you describe him in more detail, Anton? Then it dawned on me. I can do more than describe them. What I can do,
Я нарисовать могу.
I can draw them.
Я рисую немного.
I know how to draw, kind of. After speeding out his confession, I expected everybody to laugh, but that didn't happen. Even Katy stayed silent. Paulina tilted her head and studied me, with an intrigued look on her face. I was pleased by this wave of attention. It made me feel bolder, so I asked,
Нарисовать?
do you want me to? I can do it. Tikhonov slowly nodded.
Лиль Павловна, мы тут проведем следственный эксперимент.
Leila Pavlovna, we'll conduct a bit of experiment here, alright?
Пожалуйста, пожалуйста.
Of course, of course. I took a pen, flattened a sheet of paper, and I drew it. My classmate stared at me in anticipation. Paulina smiled, and it was the best reward I could get for my boldness.
Ну что, Ван Гог?
Well, go on,
Рисуй.
Van Gogh. Draw. Oh, shit. I actually need to pick. This. This and this and this. Hand over.
Вот, пожалуйста.
Here. Van Gogh, yay! I handed the drawing to the officer.
Это что, лиса? Смешно, юморист.
What's this? A fox? Very funny, very funny.
Прикажешь ее по лесу с собаками ловить?
Should we send a pack of hunting dogs on its trail? The fellow window started shaking for everybody's laughter. Even Leila Pavlovna couldn't help it.
Все не так.
That's not it.
А Чебурашка тебе не попадался?
Hey Petrov, maybe you should also met with Chebaroshka?
Вот умор.
Hilarious, simply hilarious. I was burning at the stake of shame. But I'm right. I know I'm right, so fuck them.
Все ясно.
Case closed,
Что
I
тут
guess.
еще скажешь?
Tikhonov crumpled my drawing in his fist.
Ну,
Well,
занимайтесь.
I'll be going. I wish you could meet her, the fox. He left, the bell rang.
Придурочный.
Nacho! I didn't move, I just kept staring into space. Leila Pavlovna passed by without looking my way. Polina left after her. My classmate was silent, the same if someone had muted the sound of TV. They followed me with their eyes. The whole time I was passing between the rows. Judgmental look. It felt like I was scope of many sniper rifles. I squeezed through the barricade of many desks looking for Paulina, but I stumbled into my new bodies instead. Womka swaggered up to me.
Решил сдать нас ментам?
Decided to rat us out to the cops.
Но я ничего не
I
сказал.
didn't say anything actually.
Да то подумал на.
But you as fuck thought about it, huh? No, I didn't. Womka towered over me, breathing out a faint smell of tobacco.
Ты сильно ошибаешься, думая, что без Сёмы у тебя настанут веселые деньки.
You're very wrong if you think without Suma you have a better time here.
Можешь не притворяться дурачком, пытаясь удивить Полину своей мазнёй или корчить из себя психа.
You could stop your weird act and to impress Paulina with your doodles of acting like a loony.
Мы тебя сосвету живем, понял?
We'll make this place a hell for you, got it?
До скорого,
See you,
очкарик.
Four Eyes. My head tilted forward from his lap.
Вот the лох на!
What a loser! Kick me. I wasn't surprised to find a note stuck on my back during the break. It said kick me. My nightmare clearly wasn't about to end. It's been 7 days since the lieutenant visited our class. At first glance, everything was still the same. The forest still held out its gnarly claws toward the village, and the wind whipped up. White flags waved from powdery snow every night. When my parents argued in the other room, I would turn the TV volume to silence their muffled voices and sit close to Olia. Rover and Samuel's photo were still 2 black spots on the notice board. But something did change. I could see how different the looks of my classmates were. They met me with a new portion of pokes and insults. Contempt, mockery, and loneliness became my faithful companions. But most importantly, a shadow slid across my desk, leaving behind a mysterious note. I glanced into the space between rows, but the messenger was already nowhere to be found. Who sent me this note? The fox. Who could this be? What could this carefully ripped out and neatly folded piece of paper behind it for me? More threats and humiliation, or... I took the piece of paper and carefully inhaled the wafting aroma. Blackberry. I'll be waiting at cul-de-sac near the dressing room. Come alone. Heart. Inside was a beautiful message in beautiful handwriting. I'm waiting at dead end near the dressing room. Come alone. Drunk on that sudden call, I immediately started walking, looking over my shoulder time to time, making sure nobody's following me. Even though I suspected it could be number 2 upset by Walker and Briasha, this buzzing thought soon left my mind. The two of them didn't have enough combined brain power to fake Paulina's note so carefully. I didn't even notice how I almost broke into a run and jumped around the corner. As soon as I did, I rammed into somebody inside the dark door hook. Oi! Paulina! Like a magic bird, the green notebook glued to my feet. Paulina puffed her cheeks in exaggerated anger.
Петров! Да ты совсем зрение потерял.
Peter, really you lost your sight completely. I fixed my glasses. My nearsightedness wasn't that embarrassing anymore. I bent down and picked up the notebook.
Прости, я так торопился. Ты меня ждала? Что случилось?
Sorry, I was in a rush. Were you waiting for me? Did something happen? Paulina's attitude changed from fake anger to softness. She stood there in silence, probably picking out the right words. She had worried and sad look in her eyes, as if she hoped I'd continue this conversation and stop us from drowning in this awkward silence. But I didn't say a word. I was just staring at her trembling lips. Finally, Paulina heaved a deep sigh and started talking meekly.
Антон, скажи, ты на меня сильно злишься?
Anton, tell me, are you mad at me? I couldn't reply before she continued.
Ох, ну конечно сильно. Что за дурацкий вопрос
Of
такой?
course you are. What is a stupid question?
Прости, пожалуйста, я не хотела, чтобы так вышло, честно.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to happen. Honest.
Когда Пятифанов, этот изверг, пнул ту собачку,
When when that abuser kicked the doggy,
это словно и не я была, понимаешь?
it felt like I wasn't myself, you know? She sniffed, and even though it was already quite dark outside, I could notice the ocean-colored eyes sparkle.
Да, так нельзя.
I know that it's wrong.
Нельзя смеяться над тем, как издеваются
It's
над
wrong
животными.
laughing at animal abuse.
Не знаю даже, что ты обо мне подумал.
I don't even want to think what your opinion of me might be.
Но я ничего не могу с собой поделать, Антон.
But I just can't help it, Anton.
Стоит мне подумать о дедушке, что он пережил в тот день, когда на него напала эта стая бродячих псов, как...
As soon as I remember the grandpa and the horrors I had to endure on that night to get attacked by the pack of stray dogs,
Мой разум словно
my mind
затуманивается.
really becomes foggy. Paulina's notebook on my head was still waiting for me to return it to its rightful owner, but I just couldn't find the right moment to do
Ты,
that.
наверное, считаешь, что я чокнутая,
You probably
да?
think I'm crazy, right? She looked at me with hopeful eyes. While I was absently going over the crazy stuff my subconsciousness was producing lately, I clearly wasn't qualified to judge someone's sanity.
Мне не всегда удается себя контролировать.
Kiss her! Sometimes I just can't control myself.
Но я точно не причинила бы кому-то вреда,
But I'd never
слышишь?
harm anyone. You hear me?
Не то что этот садист Ромка.
Not like that sadist Romka.
Антон, прошу, держись от него
Please stay
подальше.
away from me, Anton. Something clicked in my head. I stared at Polina with
Неделю
suspicion.
назад, во время драки, ты называла его по-другому.
You called him differently a week ago when we were fighting.
Ромочкой.
Womuchka.
Скажи, вы что, встречаетесь?
Are you two dating? Polina told it as if struck by lightning.
Еще чего? Этот урод ко мне приклеился, как банный лист.
No way, that asshole is stuck to me like a leech.
Такие, как он, не то что намеков. Грубых слов не понимают.
People like him are not even deterred by direct insults. Her voice became calmer when she noticed the bruises and cuts on my face.
Прости еще раз, что так вышло.
Again, I'm very sorry that happened.
Ну, я правда надеялась, что смогу
Well,
помочь тебе.
I really thought I would be able to help you.
Зря я поверила, что у таких подонков может быть какой-то там кодекс чести.
It was my mistake to think the bastards like them could have any sort of moral code.
Вот. У меня есть для тебя
Here,
подарок.
I have a present for you. What is this? She unbuttoned... What? She unbuttoned the top of her jacket and instantly got embarrassed after noticing my stunned look. Oh, what is this? Then she took an amulet on a thick leather thread with a big animal claw off her neck and held it out to me.
Этот оберег подарил мне дедушка.
Grandpa gifted me this charm.
Говорит, он помогает от всяких бесноватых и одержимых.
He said that it helped against crazy and possessed.
Он ему от одного шамана достался.
Got him from a certain shaman.
Можешь не верить, но когда дедушка забыл его надеть, с
You
ним
don't
случилось
have to believe
несчастье.
me, but the tragedy that befell on him happened on the only day he forgot to wear it. I smoke another glance in the intensely scratched claw of an unknown
А
beast.
чей он? Ну, в смысле, коготь.
And what did it belong to? The claw, I mean.
Даже не знаю.
I don't know.
Может быть, медведя, а может и
A
тигра.
bear, a tiger, maybe.
Кого только не встретишь в нашем лесу.
You can find all sort of animal in the forest.
В любом случае, пожалуйста, прими вместе с моими извинениями.
Anyway, please accept it along my sincere apology.
Если для тебя это так важно.
Well, this is so important to you, so...
Хорошо, давай
Alright,
попробуем начать
let's
с
try
чистого
to
листа.
start over. By the way, she's so over you. You see, she's way above your level, man. You should take her. I carefully took hold of the amulet with my free hand. It emitted Paulina warmth and the charming aroma of blackberry. I hung it around my neck and hid it under the collar of my shirt. Along with this gift, I got a weird feeling of determination. As if this amulet would be able to change my life. Hey, she's smiling. Paulina and I smiled at the same time, both of us feeling the ice wall between us slowly thaw.
Спасибо, Антон.
Thank you, Anton.
Для меня это
This really
действительно
means
много
a lot to
значит.
me. Paulina studied me with her eyes and clicked her tongue.
А знаешь, на что ты похож, Антоша?
Do you know what you look like, Antosha? What?
На блюзовую импровизацию.
Like blues improv. What is this? A brick in Buell or something.
Это как?
What do you mean?
Для меня все люди с чем-то ассоциируются.
I always associate people I know with something.
И для меня. Но не с музыкой
I
же.
do that too, but why music?
Вот как раз с музыкой.
It can be anything other than music.
Бывают люди гитарные соло. Или барабанный бой. Или военный марш, как наша Лилия Павловна.
Some people like guitar solos, some are drums. People like Lila Pavlovna are war marches.
А ты такой задумчивый, таинственный. Иногда немного печальный.
And you're so thoughtful, so mysterious, sometimes even a bit sad.
Ты точно блюз.
You're definitely blues.
А почему импровизация?
And what about the improv part?
А это когда слушатель не догадывается, куда свернет мелодия.
It's when the
Какой
listener
темп
has
возьмет.
no idea when the melody will go, what tempo it will adopt. Of course, some of the things Paulina said went completely over my head, but I couldn't stop looking on the smile, light like a breeze in May, and her eyes deep and blue.
Чтобы распознать в тебе музыку, нужен опыт и вкус.
One needs to have an experience and taste to recognize the music in you.
Это не какая-то там эстрада.
You're not some pop music.
Я, наверное, вообще не знаю, что
I don't
такое
even know. I know what
блюз.
blues is. Paulina got some frown, which made her look even more beautiful.
Не произноси при мне такие слова. Я тебе обязательно дам кассету.
Don't say something like that to my face. I make sure to give you a cassette.
Раньше мне дедушка из города столько музыки привозил. И джаз, и свинг, и классику.
Grandpa used to bring me so much music from the city, jazz, swing, and classical too.
Это он подметил, что у меня склад ума, как у музыканта.
He was the one to notice my musical mindset.
Я еще совсем маленькой пыталась на бумаге записать звуки природы.
When I
Пение
was-
дождя,
when I was very little,
леса.
I tried recording the sounds of nature of paper, the sounds of the rain and the forest.
Эх, мне бы твои уши.
I wish I had her ears like yours. What the fuck?
А мне бы твои глаза.
And I'd love to have your eyes. What? I didn't stop whether she was making fun of me, but Polina shook her head. You have blue eyes, it's
Да-да, я серьезно. У тебя глаза художника.
No, I'm serious. You have the eyes of an artist.
Смотришь на вещи и фиксируешь их.
You're
Я
so
так не
good at
умею.
picturing things. I can do that. Oh, you bitch! Katya walked past us with a trademark frosty glare. We dove in the shadows, trying to escape it.
Теперь понимаешь, почему мы тут прячемся? Вот из-за таких, как она.
You understand why we're hiding here, right? Because of people like her.
А Катька какая мелодия.
And what kind of melody is Katya? Polina flashed a smile.
Скрип несмазанных дверных петель.
The squeaking sound of iron-oiled door hinges.
Знаешь, такой мерзкий
You know that
дискант.
nasty descent, yeah, I know. I giggled, coughing in my mouth. Okay. Katya didn't wear whispers, but she suddenly glanced over her shoulder, clearly annoyed. A moment later, she sighed and went her way. You bitch, you bitch. I remembered about the notebook I was still clutching in my hand, turned it into my hands. It saw a subject name. The front side had the name of the owner and two words, friends only.
Любопытной Варваре кое-что оторвали.
Curiosity killed the cat, you know.
Прости, это анкета?
I'm sorry, is this a questionnaire?
Заполнял когда-нибудь?
Have you ever filled one?
Угу.
I lied that I had. In reality, girl classmates from previous school had never asked me to fill out the questionnaires. It was quite upsetting. I mean, it was girl hobby. You just answer a set of standard questions about your favorite actors, colors. But entrusting someone with such a notebook was the sign of friendship. And maybe something even more. Something I only have vague idea about.
Хочешь, заполни мою.
You can fill mine if you want. My heartbeat quickened.
Хочу.
I do.
Спасибо.
Thank you. Put in a giga.
А хотя... Там же столько секретов.
Actually, there are so many secrets there.
Наверное, лучше тебе не знать, о чем мы, девочки,
You're
думаем.
better off not knowing what we girls think. She reached for the notebook, playing with me. I tossed my finding into free hand. Putting tried to intercept my move. Her hair briefly flat my face, tickling my nose with its silky locks. I sensed an aroma that immediately filled the whole world. Fragrant, alluring, lively. If only I could picture, steal it for myself. I felt dizzy, but I gathered myself and spoke in a voice reminiscent of Lieutenant Tikhonov.
Ваша анкета является важнейшей уликой, и я вынужден временно изъять ее для
Your
изучения.
questionnaire is an important piece of evidence, so I'm afraid I have to concentrate for further examination. Put a cover in my mouth that wanted a fake her.
И что мне грозит за сокрытие улик?
What a implication of concealing evidence.
Следствие покажет.
We'll decide that in the course of our investigation.
Сдаюсь, товарищ
I surrender, Mr.
милиционер.
Policeman.
Только обещайте ничего не читать.
Just promise you won't read anything.
Здесь содержится секретное
Full of sensitive
сведения.
information.
Боюсь, что мне все-таки придется выяснить, не влюблен ли кто в гражданина Петрова.
Oh, he's shooting a shot. I'm afraid that I will investigate whether someone is in love with Mr. Petrov. Polina pressed and laughing again, pressed herself against my chest, showering me with a warmth of her hair, and her milky skin looked like almost transparent, with tiny threads of veins running under it. Her whisper was hot, like a piece of butter sizzling in pain.
Тогда поклянитесь, что не станете
Then I
разглашать
swear you will keep this
информацию.
information private.
Честная милицейская.
I swear on my police badge.
А теперь, Антоша, самое
And now we need to
время
hurry,
поторопиться.
Antosha. It was wholesome, really. He took out the notebook during class. Should I? Okay, guys, this is unfortunately I want so badly to continue. It's very interesting, but this is the time I have for this episode here of Tiny Bunny. Yeah. If you enjoyed this one, please like, subscribe, comment, do anything you want to do right here. Tell me what to play. Tell me what you want me to play. Tell me what you want you to do. Yeah. Love you. Love all the support of you that you given me, of course. This is a horrible, horrible outro, like always. Love you. It's your boy, Uri, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!